Hi there, beautiful souls. Welcome back or welcome to The Hawk and I. My name is Lana Zelinsky and I work in the spirit dimensions. As always, and all my videos are on my live feeds. Simply take what resonates and you're welcome to leave the rest right here. I do hope you are all doing very well. It's been a little bit since I've been on. Quite a bit going on here at the Hawk and I. A lot of changes, all great and glorious. A lot of early morning sessions, which is part of the reason why I have not been on first thing in the morning, is I have had some early morning bookings, dealing with some time changes and that kind of thing. It's been very difficult to hop on. So I am here this morning, and always staying in the present moment. So here we are. Welcome. Come on in. It's good to see you. Good morning. Welcome. Come on in. Energy update. There's been a lot going on, and I think we've got a lot of things that are coming. We are coming into a new moon. We're also coming into an eclipse, and we've also got some a retrograde moving in as well. On Friday, I believe the retrograde comes in. Full moon tonight and some eclipse stuff going on. So, energetically, what does this mean for all of us? I really feel that we're coming into a bit of a mixed bag of things. Number one, I think that we are coming into a new opportunity, another opportunity, as we're always in all opportunities, no matter where the moon or the sun is. I'm a big believer in that. But I do believe that we are coming in with, now that we're in the middle of April, gearing into the final ending of April and into May. I feel that there's a little bit of a push from the universe coming in with, let's get moving. Let's start planting those seeds. You've been cultivating and nurturing your manifestations and your changes, and those changes are coming in different ways. And often what happens with us living people is, when we're presented with change that we don't understand, we often put the brakes on. We'll put the brakes on and go, what do you mean a new job? I wasn't asking for that, but I've been asking for more abundance or more opportunities, so that it's going to come in ways that you may not expect. And what spirit has been saying is, there's going to be this more of a go with the flow kind of energy within you. And I feel that for those who choose to listen to it, it's going to be navigating you into some bigger, beautiful spaces. But that in between time, for many of us living people, it's like, oh no, why the change? Why does this feel so turbulent? That turbulence is getting us to the next step that you've been asking for. So there's been a lot of people navigating it with a lot of spiritual growth. I'm feeling that energetically as well. I feel that people are moving into this new space of of I think it's time and I'm ready to grow, and coming back into my authentic self and coming back into what resonates with me. I feel we're coming into that with a lot more collectively. I really feel that energetically, that there's this spiritual growth that's been moving and moving and moving, and it makes me extremely excited. Because it's power and collective energy, and I really do feel that we're getting into that. Now, I just want to back up a little bit to what I feel is coming in for the end of April, and it probably has to do with a little bit of the retrograde. I feel that we're going to be feeling like this pause for a little bit. I just feel like, okay, I just need to settle in and stay in this space for just a moment. I feel like I just need to breathe for just a moment. And what was shouted at me with spirit is, honor that, honor that. And I felt a little bit of that probably last week, when I felt like I was like, just like on the go, on the go, on the go. I was wrapping up hockey season. I was away at a tournament. I had a hockey party, and I had all this stuff with the Hawk and I going on, and all this stuff. And I thought, whoa, I just need to breathe for a second. And I think I'm just going to take this moment, rather it be an hour or a day or whatever it is that you feel that you need. I feel we're going to feel that coming into, I'll be curious to see what happens as we navigate through the last week of April. I just feel some of us kind of putting on, just kind of like saying, breathing through it. And now I'm going to catch up. I feel the energy for the next 2 weeks is going to be quite like a lot of movement with the energy. And I think that there's going to be, coming into the end of April, just this halt or this pause that we feel like we need to breathe. I also feel that we are going to need an extra dose, an extra shot of patience and understanding for ourselves. So I don't know if you've been feeling really impatient with yourself, or you haven't been giving yourself that understanding. If you have been struggling with being patient with yourself, I feel like you're gonna need an extra dose of that. And not in a bad way. Sometimes people will message me after a live and they'll be like, "Oh my goodness, what is, I have to be more patient. Is it because of something bad?" No, it's because we can, for those of you who perhaps maybe a little bit hard on yourself, maybe you're just a little bit, a little bit too judgy on yourself. The energy of being able to just give yourself an extra dose of that patience, it's gonna come in at the end of April for many, many, many of us. And I've actually journaled that and been reminding myself of that and it's not, I need patience for a different reason. I'm always in momentum of growth, and I always say to Spirit, "Okay, what's next? What's next? What's next? What's next?" And I always get pushed back from Spirit with, just enjoy this moment and be patient with the growth that's going to come, or the next step that's going to come. Just be patient in it. So I think that for many of us, that self patience is going to be required of us in a really good way. And I think sometimes we feel we may be ready, and this is what Spirit says to me all the time, and I tell this to my students all the time, is you may feel that you're ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. And Spirit will say, just hang in there. There's something else to learn. There's something else you need to know. Just hang in there. And that, I think, is going to be pushing through as into that patient with yourself, trusting the journey. Last week of April, I really feel strongly about that as well. And I think that with that, when we don't have that patience with ourselves, I think what we kind of pull in is the energy of um losing our cool or getting out of alignment. So I think I just remember that I said it. I just want to leave it here for you to pick up, and we'll see how you feel about that. Interestingly enough, I am feeling something very cool for the month of May. And I will be doing more channeling to get a little bit more information. But for those of you who have been like working on manifesting abundance, I'm picking up some abundant energy coming in for May. Now, abundance can be whatever you're manifesting, and it may not be a lottery windfall, but it's just whatever you're working on, financially, or whatever you're working on. I'm feeling some of that coming into May. So as we get closer to May, I'll see what else I pick up on that, but really clean up those manifestation thoughts. So that's one thing that when I felt that coming in, I thought, okay, do I have anything going on energetically? And I will ask myself that. Do I have anything going on energetically that could be holding me back from abundance? Like fear of, or worry of, or where do I need to kind of put my focus on that? Because I think May is going to bring an abundance of energy and abundant things in abundance. I really feel that coming into May. So get planting whatever little seeds you for yourself that you want to plant. That was a really, 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 really good time to do that. There we go. That is kind of what I'm feeling energetically for the next 2 weeks. Pick up what resonates, and leave the rest is what I always say. Don't forget that thumbs up button. I am so grateful for the thumbs up when I pop onto these lives. I'm just going to scroll back up. Good morning to you all. Katie is back from Japan. Welcome back. I hope you had a good time. Um, Deanna, the energy has been wild. It's been all over the map. It's good to see everybody. Many of you has missed me. Thank you very much. I have missed coming on too. Kayla, I've watched Haley's newest video and I'm speechless. Thank you for helping her and her family. I have been meaning to. I have not even, this is how it's been for me lately. It's just I haven't even had time to film a lot of the experiences that I've been having. It's just been like every minute's been accounted for, and I haven't had time to film. That experience with Haley was uh, it was like it was, I can't even find the word for it. I mean, perhaps craziness is the right word for it. It was insanity with what was going on there. Um and I won't get into it too much here on the live chat, but I did talk with Haley about a few tips that she could do going forward in her future to have perhaps a little few more boundaries with spirit. But it was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. And it also wasn't expected. So, I wasn't really expecting that. She was packing and she was moving, and I do house smudgings all the time, and I really wasn't expecting that. But it was very, very, very interesting. Thanks for watching that. Thanks for mentioning that, Kayla. Um Deanna, I was gonna say something about Haley too. I can't believe she was in that house. It was interesting. It was interesting. And that's not the first time I've been over there that she has asked me to assess some spirit activity. So it is a very interesting situation that she was in. Good to see everybody coming in. Sonia, I've definitely been feeling that pause. When we feel it, take it. Trust. I always say, trust what you get. You can all feel into energy. You can all kind of lean in and feel what's going on. Just simply sit and say, what does this feel? And I had this conversation with my mentoring students last night. I have an amazing group of level 4 mentoring students, and I've been really pushing my mentoring students to feel it. You don't necessarily have to have the description. How does it feel? Does it feel turbulent? Does it feel like a pause? What are you feeling energetically? Connect with that. I always say to people, even if it's while you're brushing your teeth in the morning, just kind of lean in. How does this day feel? How does this day feel? So that you can kind of, I always say, I always gear up for it. If I'm feeling turbulence coming in, I make sure I'm really grounded, like extra grounded. I trust what I feel, and I tweak my spiritual practices accordingly. And it's very much for each and every one of you. If you're feeling it, if your intuition or your higher self is saying you got some turbulence coming in today, get out there and ground an extra minute or two. Get out there and do a little bit more protection around yourself with white light or crystals or whatever resonates with you. Clean it up whenever you're picking it up. I also really lean into the vibration of joy, and for me has been profound. I've been almost like a heightened awareness in the vibration and the essence of joy, what's bringing me joy, what's around me that's joyful. And it can be something as beautiful and as simple as a bird singing. I've been trying to absorb that feeling more, visualizing myself like a bit of a sponge, and I'm just going to absorb that feeling. That is a glorious way to incorporate something into your spiritual practice, that is very grounding, that is very peaceful, that you can use protection. It's all about what resonates to you. It doesn't have to be written in a book as a spiritual practice or somebody else's ritual. Like I heard a call of a blue jay the other day, and I just asked that call of the blue jay to stay with me all day for protection, for energetic protection. It can be whatever you want it to be. Never forget that. Never forget that. I think there's a lot of, it must be done this way in spirituality, or here's the words you have to use, and it's like, no, whatever resonates with you, whatever you're feeling up. um it's the live lagging for anyone? No lagging here. Okay, okay, I'm sorry that it's lagging for you. I don't have a lag on my end, so hopefully it clears up for you as well. Maruna, yeah, I am not patient with myself. I just put too much us. Okay. Yes, absolutely. You need to kind of lean in there a little bit. And I will tap into this for a moment. How you feel about yourself, and here's a very interesting thing. I'll just use this as an example because it's a really good one. If you're feeling impatient with yourself, if you're feeling that vibration, and you're putting that out, what happens energetically? Because it's all energy, right? We're energy. What we put out is energy. What we pick up is energy. It's all energy. What you're putting out energetically, other people are also consciously or unconsciously picking that up. So if just kind of monitor it. How am I feeling about myself? I'm being really impatient with myself. Now, how are other people receiving me today? Why is everybody so short with me? Sometimes people do pick up the energy. Quite often they do. They will pick up on the energy of what we're radiating out. So if you're being impatient with yourself, odds are, Maruna, odds are other people around you maybe impatient with you, because that's kind of what you're putting out there. And they're probably 99.9% of the time, they're probably not even aware of it. So one of the things that I often will do with myself, if I'm noticing something with people around me, I'll kind of like, okay, is this me or not me? Nope, not me. It's theirs. Mine or not mine? Nope, that's mine. I'm putting that out there, and other people are picking it up. And we don't always have an awareness of it. Right? Self-awareness energetically is not something that we're taught. I mean, was anybody taught that in elementary school or high school? Probably not. So we're not even aware of that necessarily, of what of the frequencies that we're putting out there. Other people do pick up on it, and they're not aware of it either, because we don't teach people that either, right? I'll sip of tea here before I move on. Um, don't have that feeling, more feeling of lost and no energy. So joy, lost and no energy. um I would really tap into where your spiritual practices are. Finding what recharges you spiritually. I'm feeling it more of that spiritual energy versus physical energy for me. So I would whatever resonates with you. If you just need to go and spend some time near water, even if that's a bathtub or a shower, or whether it be I just need to breathe and watch the clouds float by, I feel it more spiritual energetically. That loss feeling, one thing that, when I get that, there are times where it's like I'm truly don't know what I'm doing, and what I kind of work through with that is I will really tap into a lot of journaling for me. I will also I have a visual spiritual compass. It doesn't really exist, but I look at it. It's like I just tap into a spiritual compass, and I kind of ask for guidance, and I ask for direction, and I remind myself that I am navigating on this path of my journey. I am navigating it. And sometimes that feeling of loss is a little bit of a pause until new things come in, or that we continue to work on old stuff as well. Sometimes, and Spirit said this to me. I had one of my spirit guides say to me, like, there's this piece of you that hasn't worked through that, and that's kind of what's holding you back, is you haven't quite worked through that yet. And I just kind of lean in there with that, oh, almost like that aha moment. Now I get it. I need to spend a little bit more time kind of loving that part of me. Loving that part of me. All right, here we go. Um, Bianca, good morning. I set an alarm clock to catch this live. Missed you, Lan. I'm bless your heart. Thank you so much for joining us here today. I did post, for those of you who may not have seen it, I did post a past life regression. I am going to pop on and do one. I picked the platform of Zoom, and I did have a few people message me and say, like, why aren't you doing it on the channel? A few things with that. So, why am I not recording it on the channel? A few things with that. I really feel like with doing a group past life regression, I think that if anything comes up for anybody, whether they have questions, or whether they have experienced something they don't understand, I want to be available for them. I think that doing, can you do a regression with a recording? Yes, you can. But I think as the person doing the regression, I think it's important to have that integrity to say, I'm here afterwards on the Zoom call to be here for you, rather than have people just go in and message me later. I don't have the capacity to answer 200 emails once a video is posted, or go back into the chats. I can't always catch up on the chat conversations even now. So I felt, when I sat with this, how should I do this regression? I felt like it needed to be on a Zoom. You do not have to have your cameras on. You do not have to engage. But if anybody has an experience that they want to talk to me about after the regression, or any kind of questions, I think it's really important to be available for that. So that's so I'm doing it Sunday, so this coming Sunday. I think it's 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is up on the community page, and I will post the link early Sunday morning as well, for those of you who are interested. So I just wanted to address that really quickly here this morning, for in case anybody that was present was one of the people that was asking me, why don't I just do it on the channel? I just think it's really important that, as the person doing the regression, like I said, be available, to answer or help navigate. Sometimes with past life regressions, they can be pretty intense, and to not be available for someone for follow up, I struggle with that a little bit. I think it's I have a responsibility, if I'm going to do something like this, that I should be present. So that is why I'm doing it on Zoom. Okay, so there you have it. Let's just scroll back up to where I was. Katie took the day off. Jet lag is kicking my butt. A pause day. Take it and enjoy it. Take it and enjoy it. Okay. I'm just looking for some questions. A lot of comments. But so, Soné, I've been feeling that exhaustion too. A lot of exhaustion. So I think with that exhaustion, it's always about tapping into where are your spiritual practices. That's the first thing I ask people is where are your spiritual practices? And all of my mentoring students, that's my first go-to. What have you been doing for spiritual practices? Especially, those of you who are big feelers, all the empaths out there, if you're feeling other people's stuff, and there's a lot of stuff energetically going on, what are you absorbing? What are you absorbing? An abundance of confusion, I think, for me, because my boss is going on maternity leave. um, that actually doesn't feel too bad for me, that added workload. I do feel that you're gonna sift and sort through that quite well. How do we know which opportunities to take? I feel like I've had a bunch of opportunities come my way. Jobs, friends, adventures, but I say yes too often and get overwhelmed. That is a really big question. Okay. So there's a few layers in this question. Number one, I feel that in some of this energetically for me as well, and I think even outside of opportunities, I think that the boundary line is just a little bit foggy there. I don't like. I think you have to kind of insert a little bit. And as far as I don't know what opportunities to take, I always sit with it. So I had a recent opportunity come my way, and I literally just went somewhere very quiet. You can do a little meditation if you wish, or you can just simply feel into it. Good feels good, bad feels bad. And and I'm always going into an opportunity with what is it here that I'm willing to learn. So I sat with spirit once with this isn't all that long ago, maybe a couple months ago. An opportunity was presented to me. I sat with it. I did exactly what I just said. I sat with it. It felt good. It felt really good. So I'm like, okay, got in there. Then that opportunity went left of center. And I was like, it felt good to me. What's going on here? And spirit said to me, stick with this learning. Stick with this learning. So I stuck with the learning. Um it kind of had a bad taste. And then on the other side of all that, that big light bulb went off. And it was, I needed to take that stepping stone to get to the next place, to meet the next person that was going to help me navigate through another opportunity. So you see, when we navigate through, what if it's the wrong thing? What if I make a mistake? What if I'm learning? And you know what? As humans, and I have this conversation with spirit all the time. Oh my goodness, we are so afraid of what if it's a mistake that we miss out, and then we start seeing those repeat lessons, repeat lessons, repeat lessons, and it's like, okay, I get it, I get it, I get it. I always sit with it, and I trust what I feel, and I always make sure though that when it comes to too much on me, I check in where my boundaries are, because sometimes I can get a little lenient in that department too. Yes, I can do that for you. Yes, I can do that for you. Yes, I can do that for you. And before you know it, I'm buried in all these things that I probably shouldn't have picked up. So I always do a lot of reflection of where I am on my journey and how much I can take on as well, because there is a limit to how much we can take on. And I think that's really important. I think that's really important. Right now, I can't help you with that. My plate is full. And other thing, like, here's the thing. If something is really truly meant to bring you a learning opportunity, it's going to come back and present itself again as anyway. Right. So I think there's that too. If it will come back. It will come back if it's truly something that you're meant to learn and do. That is my experience and my feeling and spirit's opinion on that. Okay, a couple more questions. I can't believe how fast these lives go. It's like boom. Um, hit the like button. Bless your hearts. Thank you so much for encouraging people to like the videos. Um, I think many of you are aware, and I am so grateful for this community that we have built here on the YouTube channel. It's been a glorious opportunity, community, to meet new people and to learn something new. You have all taught me a few things as well. But I do appreciate the likes when I come on, or the likes on my video. This is a small channel, so the thumbs up really do help, and it also helps guide me on, is this something that is helping? Is this something that people want from me? Is it something that people want from me? Um, and spirit would tell me too, I think, though, if it truly was, if I needed something else. So, Nay, I recently lost a career opportunity that was important to me. After the loss, I got really confused about where to go and what what to do next regarding a career. Any messages for me? What I need to say to you is I really need you to come into an alignment, a really firm. I need you to feel it as your truth. Is that everything is working out for you? You are going to land another opportunity. The first part of the conversation on the live here for me was about planting those seeds and about really navigating what you want and what you don't want. I got to get you firm in that. I got to get you into that was a great opportunity. It served me for as long as it was meant to, and I need to pull you into an alignment. Where we are in our own alignment, we do say to the universe, and I have this conversation not just with myself, but with other people all the time. We do say to the universe what we want and what we don't want. So I would be very clear on what you want for your next step. And and even if you don't exactly know what type of job, word it this way. I am really open to receive guidance that's going to serve my highest good in my career. I'm open to receive it. It's going to work out for me. I'm going to navigate through it. When I first started my spiritual practices in that way, when I first started, leaning in and kind of law of attraction, and I was like, well, and then I thought, you know what? What do I have to lose? Really, it's not costing me anything. It's just a new awareness or a new way of thinking. It's not detrimental to me. What do I have to lose by really putting my awareness into alignment? And as it was almost instantly, as soon as I pulled myself back in, it was like boom, boom, boom. Because we do, and I know it's been said 1,000 times. Wayne Dyer said it many, many times. We do create our own reality. We do create it. We have that ability. So I would say to you, I would give that a try, and I would give that a try with no time frame. I really would. I've kind of stepped away from like time. When's it coming? When's it coming? When's it coming? I have learned that it's going to come when it's coming. It's going, and I will answer myself with that. It's going to come when it's coming because I'm human too, so I do have that. There has been something that I've been working on for a little bit, and I said to Spirit, "When's it coming?" And it's coming when it's coming, and I'm going to trust that it's coming. And sure enough, and I do have some, some. I'm finishing up some you know, uh, I'm finishing up some last minute things, and I am going to be making some announcements that are very exciting. But I spent a good year with when's it coming? When's that coming? It's coming when it's coming. I'm going to trust the journey. It's hard. I know. We it's I. It really is hard navigating through some of that, and a lot of it is our back to being patient with ourselves, back to trusting the journey, back to that understanding, back to our own spiritual growth. Right? It's all tangled in with each other. It really is all tangled in. Okay. Bianca, if you wake up with scratches randomly, is that a sign of a bad spirit is around? I woke up with a random scratch the other day and I'm in a new house for vacation, so it scared me. Um When I lean in there energetically, I don't feel as a bad spirit around you. I don't feel that at all. However, I am a big smudger. I'm a big protector wherever I go. I can literally wherever I go, even if it's just smudging my own feet before I go in somewhere. I feel, with this, I feel that you are naturally astral traveling, and I don't know why I need to say this to you, but I also feel like there's I feel like I've got like either a sore leg or a bruise on my leg. The I don't My leg feels really tight. It's my left leg, so it just feels really tight. We don't always remember our astral traveling. Sometimes because we don't always set the intention to do it. So sometimes we can be very deep in an astral and we can come back from an astral travel with a scratch or a bruise or a headache, depending on where we went and what we were doing in our dream time. I'm pulled away from that as far as it being a negative spirit or anything like that. I'm not picking up on that at all. However, if you need that reassurance, do a good smudge. If you have any crystals on you, toss them under the bed. But I'm not feeling that at all. So I hope that that is helpful to you, Bianca. Had a powerful experience in Japan. I had a dream with my dog that passed in January. It was the first time since she passed away, so it felt so lovely. Oh, I love that, Katie. Thanks for sharing. I love when spirit visits in dreams. It is, it's very, very powerful. Um, ask for more of that if it's what you want. Ask for more of that. And I always set the intention. I've said this before. Set the intention to help you remember. Can you visit me in my dream time tonight? Can you please help me remember? Okay. Um, can spirit tell me if I'm going to get some rest soon and help my daughter to get her down to earth? She is since a few months suicidal and worries too much about what other people think. I'm just leaning in there for a minute. I just have to take that to spirit for just a second. Um, I do feel with this, I do feel a bit more of a journey with it. I feel a bit more of a journey with it. However, that being said, I also feel her either she's starting to come into a space of working on that, and kind of healing through some of that. Um, and I almost feel like I don't know if she doesn't even like people looking at her. Like, I think it's that deep and that ingrained with, like, judgment and what people think. But I do think that because I can see her, and how they're showing it to me is I can see her chucking things in the bucket, right? Like, I won't use the language here that they're that they're but I can see, like, her, like, slowly letting go of what no longer serves her with what other people think, but I feel like it's a very slow process for her. I also feel that she's going to become more easily distracted from those thoughts. I think, like, little by little. I almost feel, though, that I have to, one thought at a time, one positive affirmation at a time, and I feel like it needs to be focused on, like, for example, this is how spirit is showing me, is a little sticky note with one affirmation on it. Something as simple as I am enough, and I see it plastered in places that she can see. I see it, like, plastered, but I see it being there for an extended period of time before she absorbs that I am enough energy. I just feel it being a slow process. And I do feel that, I'm not a psychiatrist or a doctor, but I do feel that this goes back quite a way. Like, I feel like this isn't her first experience with these kinds of thoughts. So I do feel that some of this, not perhaps not all of it, but I do feel that some of it does connect to a past life as well. I think that this is a big part of her learning. I really do. That being said, I see a lot of clear blue skies in front of her. I see clear and clarity. But I think that clear and clarity, I think that in order for it to stay clear is I think she will spend a great deal of her journey working through to keep it clear. I just feel like it's going to be something that she's going to have to work on. And it's very similar to how they're showing it to me is, and they're kind of laughing at me, they're having a good old chuckle, is they're showing me my journey with wellness. If I slip off my healthy eating, if I slip off of that, like, just even slightly, 10 pounds in a week is added to me. I have to stay in that. Otherwise it's like a very quick decline. So for her, I feel like she's going to have to stay working on that other, in order to keep that clarity and that clear blue skies. I think it's going to have to be, part of who she is, as far as being able to work on it and being able to control it. I hope that makes sense to you. They showed it to me in a very interesting way. And I don't know why my spirit guides are laughing at me today, but I think I'm in for a day of laughter, which is always beautiful and glorious. Well, I have pushed the limit here as far as timeline goes that I can hang out with you all. But I do hope you enjoyed your time with me. Um, I hope you can join me on Sunday for a past life regression. I'll probably spend, maybe half an hour or so just talking a little bit about, past lives and the soul's journey, and then I will dive right in and do a regression Depending on how much time and how many people show up, I might even try and get you to 2 lifetimes. We'll see how that goes. I will be posting I'll be posting some links on the channel as well. I do have a couple workshops coming up. Some of them are on Zoom, some of them are in person. So animal communication is coming up. It is on Zoom. We will be doing a farm visit for those who are local to me. For those who are not local to me, we'll be doing some work online with animal communication, online or in person. You can still do it. I do a lot of animal communication online. You do not have to be sitting with an animal to communicate with them. I do it a lot online. Introduction to spirituality is coming back up as well. All this is on the website. I just my lovely admin just posted it this week. It's on the website as well. So there's an introduction to spirituality coming up as well on Zoom. So if you're interested in any of that, go have a look, thehawkandI.com, and I'll put the links on the community page as well. I hope to see you on Sunday. As always, I'm wishing you love, light, blessings, and a spirit guided day. Much love.